Okay.
The mob is coming up the driveway now.
They've got their pitchforks.
Yes.
Ultimately, what we really want out of all this content, honestly, is that we'll help you to create your ultimate dream home. Hey guys, welcome to the House of Valentina. I'm Valentina, and my husband Jack and I were just having a discussion because we've been doing a lot of shopping for our house, and we've noticed that there are a lot of things that are trending in the stores right now, and we were trying to decide, do we want to take advantage of this trend? Do we think it's gonna be around for very long?
So we're trying to decide if something's gonna be around long enough to actually invest in it.
So we're just gonna take you through today the ones that we think you should be avoiding, and we'll give you a few little tips and tricks if it's a trend that you really like, how you can include it in your home in a way that will be more lasting so that it's not here today and gone next week.
So if you like videos like this and you wanna know what trends to be following, make sure you hit subscribe and check out all of our playlists where you can binge watch our videos on design, style, or stylist. We have our Friday vlogs. There's so much that you can truly camp out and binge the House of Valentina.
Yes, so without further ado, let's jump into trends for 2021/2022 that you should totally be avoiding.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, so number one, okay, so we're actually kind of nerds. This is the kind of stuff that we actually sit around and think about all the time.
We really do.
So we make lists because that's just how we are. So the one that we came up with, number one, is sculptural furniture.
Ooh, lots of that out there
Yes,
right now.
well, okay, so the thing is, I'm not against sculptural furniture. I actually think that it's really cool to include a sculptural piece in your home that really gives it that sort of sophistication. It feels a little bit worldly. It feels unique and artistic. So I think that you should still include artisanal sculptural pieces in your home. Think about maybe adding something like a sculptural vase to your home. Maybe you might want to add a sculptural piece with the sofa that you already have that maybe has a square arm, and you can really just kind of play with the trend without investing all of your money into it.
Yeah. All right, our trend number 2 is subway tile.
Yeah, that was his, okay? So I was like, what? Okay, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, except that I just ordered subway tile samples for our own kitchen because I'm thinking about putting the tile up in the kitchen, and I was like, well, isn't that ironic? It's not that subway tile is out, because subway tile is just like a basic thing. It's like saying that couches are out. I don't know.
Oxygen is out.
It's like, how can you say that's out? But my go-to is to instead look at a subway tile style that maybe has something special going on with it. So we've got one that's marble. They have them that are faceted. You can have an elongated style.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways that you can still bring subway into your house, but
And it's important with trends to always remember, some trends are classic. Subway tile will always be around, but on the back end of a trend, it's gonna feel stale for a while before it feels fresh again.
I know, that's what's the shame of it, is that once it hits the mass market, we just get visual fatigue from seeing something so much, and that's why something comes and goes so strongly. But if you're really thinking about what kind of a backsplash am I going to do, right now what's really trending is doing the entire wall in one material. So that's another thing that you could do, just completely skip the subway tile altogether and just do one material all the way up the wall. Number 3.
You're not talking about my Zika Averici pants, are you?
No, you can keep those. If you can still fit in them, you are more than welcome to have them. No, I was talking about blonde wood.
Ooh,
I know, it's controversial.
I
know, I'm so evil. You guys are, some of you are like, no, she didn't.
She's coming for the blonde wood.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have anything against blondes or blonde wood. I think it's actually really beautiful, and even when we did our own home, you can attest to this, I was in turmoil because I love the blonde wood. I think a lot of it is about your area that you live in and what wood is native to your area. But a lot of people are just getting tired of it, again, because so many people are doing it. And I think the problem is that when you've done your floors and you've done all your chairs and you've done every accent in your house and everything is in that one color tone, it just starts to feel a little bit boring because there's really not enough contrast in the space for things to really have something to play off of. And so I know that you guys are literally coming from all different parts of the world. So I would really suggest on this one to really look around you and decide if it's what you want and you don't care about resale and you're not worried about whether it's trendy or not, like who cares? It's what you love, then just do it.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it because you think it's on trend, I think it's gonna go out. I think that these warm middle tones, they're eternal. They literally never go out. They've always been around. I think they always will be. And that's what I always recommend, because ultimately, this is all about you building your dream home that you love, and especially if you just moved into it and you're renovating it to live in it, which is what we've done. We didn't renovate our home to sell it. We renovated it for us to live in. We made choices for ourselves, and we tried to make good, wise decisions that would help us stay in this house and in this style for a really long time.
Yeah, definitely. When you laugh before you say something, that makes me wonder what's coming.
I know, I feel so bad.
All right, what's coming next?
Okay, wicker or rattan furniture.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Okay.
The mob is coming up the driveway now.
They've got their pitchforks.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I am not against wicker and rattan. It's a material that is beautiful and it is lasting. I think what is trendy is this open sort of design. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like it's got like the Urban Outfitters kind of look.
Yeah.
And I've seen it go a little bit to the luxury level, but I don't think it's gonna stick around like that. I think it has this sort of disposable feeling to it.
And the scale feels kind of small. So
It
when you see
usually
bed
is.
frames made out of it and stuff like that, it just feels like smaller. It feels like, yeah, the scale isn't necessarily there.
Don't be upset if it's something that you really like, because especially if you have a home that's got a little bit of a coastal vibe, I would look at places like Serena and Lily. They really nail that style so well. They give you something that you could really take those pieces and use them in so many different style homes. I think that there are so many of us that are coming out on the other side, not that we're past it, but we're getting there, of the pandemic. And I think that we've all been inside of our homes an awful lot. And I'm seeing it in fashion, and a lot of times when you see it hitting fashion, it's gonna hit interiors as well. I was listening to some of the videos on the YouTube channel for Vogue, Net-a-Porter, and they're all talking about how enough with the loungewear. Everybody's
several
ready.
brands are actually discontinuing their loungewear line.
Yeah.
Because there's still gonna be Lululemons and brands like that do it.
Yeah.
But some of the other big brands are actually moving out of that.
Yeah, I think that we're going to see that happening in our homes as well. I just love to get dressed up. I understand that not everybody in the world is like this. You know, that's fine. You don't have to want to be dressy or wear a heel every day.
Right.
You know, some of you that aren't 5'1" well, maybe don't need a heel every day to feel like the air is breathable. But I just think that we're going to start seeing things move to a little bit more, not super formal, but it's an approachable sophistication that I think that we're going to start seeing a lot more of. I've talked about this in recent videos about how you're going to see the finishes be a little less raw wood, a little less casual, a little like the cloud sofa. Like that's the dream, is just to like sink back and can't get out of it. Like I think we're just moving to where it's like, okay, like I would really like for things to have a little bit more tailoring and
So this next one is boho being replaced by my personal favorite, nomad.
So if you're trying to figure out what the difference is between boho and nomad, it's not like a big leap, honestly, but it does have a little bit more of a worldly idea to it. Bohemian is almost like a lifestyle, whereas it doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually traveling. It's like you just like the mentality of bohemian, that you're wanting to be more free and open, and nomad actually has travel in it. And I think that's what the big differentiator is. So you would have like maybe some wallpaper and some fabrics that feel inspired by the places that you've been or places that you want to go. You're open to new styles of furniture and things. it's less about like a certain color wood. It's more about moving into this other place where now we have access to the world. So I don't want to just be a bohemian. I actually want to be a bohemian that travels and to bring new ideas home and to incorporate them into my house.
Yeah, boho has like a color palette that goes with it.
Yeah.
Whereas nomadic is really driven by where you've been. It's kind of bringing the essence of that back. So whether it's a paint color or a piece of art, it's not necessarily like this clean cut style. It's more of a way of viewing things and doing things.
Yeah, I think it's really fun, don't you?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. The next one is overly open spaces. And we've been talking about this for a while. I've been saying for a couple years, the open space is about to go out. And it seems like they just keep getting more and more open to where you're just, like, the bathroom door you're not even gonna have a bathroom door anymore.
You're sleeping in the kitchen. Good night, Jim Bob. Good night, Paul.
We've gone to such an extreme where you can literally sit in the center of your house and see every single thing that you own.
Yeah.
I think that we're moving away from that. The pandemic just accelerated that tremendously.
Lots of people calling saying, I need to put walls up.
Yes.
Lots of people saying, I have a basement, I need to chop it up because I need an office and a gym and, you know, blah, 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 all these different rooms. So I think we're definitely moving back towards that.
Definitely.
It's ruled the roost for a long time for a good reason. It was all about bringing us together, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I really think we want, as we've come through the pandemic and as we are rethinking homes, I'm with you 1,000%. I think we're going to see people putting back up some walls.
Yeah, and sometimes when we've talked about this in the past, some of you will write in and you'll say, but I have an itty bitty tiny kitchen, and I understand if you want to open up your kitchen, and like ours is open up to the breakfast room and then to the sunroom.
yeah.
Like we have some openness in our home. We're not talking about literally like walling up your entire house. We don't think that we're going to go that direction.
No, not at all.
But we do think that it's going to be more segmented again to where you have spaces that have different roles, just like you were saying. And so if you're thinking about taking down a wall because you're like, 2021, woohoo, we're like opening everything up, this may be a good time to rethink that and ask yourself, if that's really your dream space and that's what you really want, then open the wall up and, you know, don't worry about it. But just realize, like, in about 2 to 3 years, you're gonna be like, okay, everyone's putting their walls back up. I still like mine, I don't care. You just have to kind of decide where you are on that. Dripping the soul out of your home. I've been thinking a lot about this since we made the little list. And I think where this came from was that we saw Scandinavian design hit the US about 7 years ago. Like it got really, really, really big. And everything went to white walls. Everything went to really super clean design.
Yeah.
Minimal, everything, all the details, just everything went out.
Yeah, I think a lot of this came from the demo days, and we were watching it on HGTV, and we're redoing homes and all this stuff, and we just start tearing walls down, and we get sledgehammer happy, and we're like, take it all down, get rid of all of everything.
Yeah, and a lot of people will tell you when you're renovating, it's easier just to rip everything out and start over, but it's like, oh, but there should be balance, because if you need to take out a wall, if there's a space that's just too tight, and you need to change the way something is configured, and something just needs to come out, I think there's a difference between that and just literally taking out all the detail out of your home that actually makes it interesting. Okay, next up is everything white, which I know you guys are gonna be like, okay, this woman literally has white walls. She's selling us on white paint. We painted our house white because she told us to paint it white. I'm not saying that white is going completely out, although I have seen that there's a lot of color on its way, which we'll talk about in just a second, but I'm talking about white on white on white on white on white on white on white, and then blonde wood.
And some rattan thrown in for fun.
It's too much, there's no contrast. And those interiors photograph really well. They look really good on social media. But what I'm finding is that when people have those homes, they feel like they're a little bit cold.
Yeah.
And so you can really warm things up with maybe bringing in a rich wood tone, bringing in some deeper colors. You don't have to paint your walls black. We understand that's not everybody's thing, but you can definitely warm up your space.
Yeah.
last but not least is too much color. And
You're contradicting yourself.
I know.
You just said not all white, but also not all color.
well, that's the thing, is if you use anything too much, then it stops having the impact that you're probably going to want in your space. Having contrast, like look at Jack on the dark wall. You don't see such a contrast.
Handsome, studly.
All right, move over. But look at me on this dark wall. There's contrast here. And so I think that you can play with it. Maybe some areas you might do tone on tone, so you'd have color on color. And then other places you might give your eye a place to rest. So you might have a white sofa with blue cushions, or if you have a blue sofa, blue walls, and then maybe you have white cushions. You really would just, I think you can really play with it. If you start down this train, right, where you're like, I'm gonna add color to everything, then it just gets to where it's like, I'm not seeing things anymore.
Yeah, your eye literally can't land anywhere, because then it's like shooting all over the room trying to find everything.
It can be very stressful, and I think that's why I think this trend it's not going to die. This trend is gonna be around for quite some time. We're just now starting to really see it come forth especially in the US.
Right.
But I do think that just as you go forward, making your decisions, we've been talking about this ourselves. Do we want a colored chair instead of a white? Ooh.
Ooh, controversy.
Am I gonna be happy with the color?
Yeah.
Does the wall need to be colored? How much color do I need? These aren't meant to really tell you what to do or what not to do, but just to give you some food for thought. So that ultimately what we really want out of all this content, honestly, is that we'll help you to create your ultimate dream home. And if we can, we talk so often on this channel about how to get a high-end look on a budget. And we know you guys are working on a budget just like us.
Yeah.
So making wise decisions when you purchase big ticket items, when you are painting your walls and doing your floors, these are really important decisions. So if we can help you make a decision that will last you for 10, 15, maybe even 20 years, that we'd rather do that than to just say, well, just go buy the newest trend.
Yeah, because you just can't do that. We want to help you make sense of all of it. There's a lot of noise out there, and a lot of, as the internet's got more and more, and we're all these different feeds coming into our lives, it's so easy to be overwhelmed by it. And these are just some trends that we think just be careful how much you dive in.
Yeah, and think about what is gonna work for you, because this is all about you. This is your one moment in life where everything gets to be about you and what you want. It doesn't matter about anybody else. So yeah, I hope this will just encourage you guys. And it'll be a little bit of fun, and we always have fun, so we hope you did too.
And let us know down below in the comments if you agree with us.
No,
yes, let's do it. Let's just say it. Let us know if you agree or disagree with us.
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I want to know. We'll talk back and forth.
Yeah, Jack's always like, oh, I got on the comments.
Yeah, I love it.
I do try to get on there too. So yes, leave us comments, let us know. Give the video a thumbs up if you like, at the very least, you like having trend videos so we can have this good conversation. And don't forget to hit subscribe, because we hope you'll want to come back to see us even after we've insulted some of you.
Yeah, we still like you.
We still do, yes, yes. We're just teasing. We really do love you guys, and we're so appreciative of this amazing community that we have, where we get to talk, or we really get to chat with all of our friends about the things that we just really geek out over. So thank you again for stopping by, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
I love mustard, but I'm not gonna eat a bowl of it.
What does that have to do with white? It's not even white.
Hold on, I was thinking of like a flavor that I would love, but I don't need a plate of it.
Why would you?
You know what I'm saying?